and welcome to Your Powerful Legacy TV. I'm your host, Randy Major, and joining me today from Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services are Kristina Ping-Kepperling and Rob Kepperling. Hello again. How are you?
Hello. Wonderful to be here with you, Randy.
Thank you. How are you, Rob?
Doing fantastic.
So good to see you both again today. I've been loving our shows over the last couple weeks, and today I really want to get to know how you, as a couple, problem solve for couples and your clients that come in and see you. What are some of the big challenges you see and how you work them out?
We've seen some pretty amazing challenges. I mean, just like in our everyday marriage, we see everyone else's unfold. We actually watched a divorce agreement unfold right on our conference room table. They came in to start talking about their retirement strategies, and then they decided they were going to part ways right there in front of us.
Oh my goodness.
It was quite humbling.
I can't even imagine.
Yes, and what do you do? I mean, a lot of those things have, you know, a boiling point that they get to. So something's been going on, something's been heating it up. And that always makes me think about retirement strategies because it heats up. You've got a little bit of time there during your phases of financial strategizing that you really need to be getting up to that financial red zone. And what does that look like if you are in the financial red zone and you decide to get a divorce? That can be really devastating. And I may joke a little bit, you know, congratulations, it's great, but because for some people it is a better relief, it's better for them in their life, just like marriage is wonderful.
Yeah, but that last show you talked about congratulations to those getting divorced, and I'm sitting here thinking that's my wife saying this, and it had me a little concerned, but not really.
Oh, no worries, honey, we're good.
But it's so important for couples to be on the same page and come in together, come to the meetings together, and really figure out, you know, what it is they want out of their retirement. Do you want to be porch rockers or do you want to be jet setters? You know, and where, if there's one of each, where is that kind of balance? And do you have enough to be the jet setters? And there's really just so much to go through when you are, you know, planning.
Well, you're so very right. And if you decide to get a divorce and you're close to or in retirement, one of the biggest mistakes is living the same lifestyle that you had before you were divorced, because that's just not the reality. A lot of times, living the same lifestyle that you had before you retired is not the same. So it kind of goes hand in hand there. You know, you're divorcing your job, if you will. But
yeah, right.
When you're talking about a major household change, obviously you're not going to have two incomes anymore. You're going to go down to one. So those things will change quite dramatically. I think meeting with a professional is very important, just like you would meet with an attorney to mitigate or to referee, if you will, some of those decisions. I think having a financial professional on your side to advocate for you, to take care of you both, I think that's very important. And let's sit down and have those tough conversations and get you on track for your retirement.
Now, do most couples kind of see eye to eye when it comes to what their retirement budget should be? You know, a lot of people don't like the word budget. It's like being on a diet. You know, we don't want to have to restrain ourselves from anything. How does that go?
In short, no.
Yeah, what you want and what you can afford are two different things. I think you can tell those that have communicated along the way and those that haven't.
Yes.
Because the ones that haven't communicated along the way, along this journey, they have two different viewpoints of what should happen once they retire.
We see this quite a bit. You've had those traditional roles that maybe the husband has been the one doing most of the working, and maybe the wife stayed home, took care of children through some of those years, and then worked maybe a little bit during that period. And then maybe she was running the household, which is a really big job in itself as well.
Right.
And when you're talking about those traditional roles, we don't have traditional roles in our household. So we can definitely adapt to what it is that folks need out there to be able to make sure and communicate all of those important decisions and what's going on. And as most of you know, I mean, we're still pretty newlyweds.
We are.
You don't get on my nerves yet, so we'll see.
Give it time.
Honeymoon phase over here.
But we definitely have a great balance because we work together, we're at home together, we vacation, everything's together in our household and even our boys. And so talking about these budgets on a regular basis and that overall financial health, it is huge in our household. And we have those tough conversations, and sometimes it's not the best because, you know, you get the wants more than you really should.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of reel that in. I am excellent at spending money, isn't that right?
That is correct.
I am, but I'm also excellent at saving money. So when we're talking about those things
balance.
with couples, yes, having that balance and what does that really look like? And I want to give a little bit of an example, if you don't mind,
Sure.
Randy. So for right this moment, for you folks out there who do not have this available, I want you to take a piece of paper and just draw a line down the center. And on the left-hand side, I want you to write down all of your expenses and your bills. I want you to be realistic about it. If you have these crazy Hulu and Showtime and all these crazy subscriptions, or maybe magazines that you never read, or if you're giving money to your children on a regular basis, I want you to put that on your expenses and what you're really doing. Then on the other side, I want you to put in there, what are the incoming income amounts? What are those incoming income streams? What's the availability, whether it's from rental property or a pension or an IRA, Social Security, whatever that may be. And then what are you anticipating? If you're not yet retired, what are you anticipating that income to be? If those columns don't match up, if the one that is the expenses is significantly more, we've got to make some major changes. What about inflation? Because those expenses will be going up, and we need to make sure that things are going to continue to be affordable. So all of those tough conversations will have that. And that's something that you don't have to do by yourself. Mm-hmm. If you need to make this part of your complimentary consultation, we would be more than happy to help you get this taken care of, folks.
Yeah, I feel like I need to be doing this exercise, Kristina, because honestly, speaking of roles, my husband has all the roles of our finances. If something happened to him, I truly would have no idea what was going on.
I kind of wear the pants in our household, just saying, but you know,
I do what I'm told. But if you want to make that the little project fun before you come in to see us, Kristina said have one piece of paper with a line drawn down the middle. But if you're married, have each of you do your own and then line them up and see where they land.
Mm. This is interesting.
Yeah.
It's getting ready to hit the fan.
Oh boy, I have some homework for my hubby and I when I get home.
Health. And that's very normal, though. I see this all the time. We do see this all the time, that there may be one spouse or another that is more dominant in that role, that they're taking care of the finances. And we've actually had the pleasure of sitting down. I have a widow this past year that she lost her husband, and I sat down with her and taught her how to balance a checkbook because she didn't know. She did not know what the regulatory bills were. She didn't even know the name of the bank because she still went on cash. Her husband would get her some cash every week to get groceries and whatnot, and she was just as happy as she could be. So sat down with her and spent that time. She really needed that help, and that's also what our client service is about.
Yeah. And like we talked about earlier, even when you get divorced or when you lose a spouse, I said to somebody not too long ago, I said, I've been fortunate enough to be married to two wonderful women, but never been divorced. And I just got this really weird look, and they're trying, you can see the light bulb trying to go off, but it's not quite there yet. And finally he asked, he goes, well, how is that? Because curious, he wanted to know, and I told him that my first spouse passed away at a young age, and then I met Kristina, and we got married last year, and things have been going wonderful. So, but in that time process, you still have to evaluate, what can I afford, what can I not afford, because at that point in time, I had two incomes coming in, and then it went to one.
Yeah. Okay, well now is the perfect time to open up the phone lines. Let's talk about the complimentary review that 10 callers today watching are going to receive.
That's right. Folks, when you give us a call at that number on the screen, that 877-893-5099, for some of you out there, this is going to be a second opinion. You may already have a strategy in place and you just want to have a second look. Nothing wrong with that. Also, when you come in, you're going to get a complimentary copy of The Retirement Train. This is a fantastic book. We know you're going to love it. We've got plenty set aside just for you. So again, give us a call, that 877-893-5099. Come in and get your complimentary review.
Thank you so much. Okay, viewers at home, those phone lines are open. Please do give us a call right now. The number again is 877-893-5099. We have to take a very short commercial break, but please stay tuned. We have so much more. Be right back.
As a good saver, you've been putting away money during your working years. Studies find that the biggest fear of retirees is running out of money. Market volatility isn't just the downward movement of stock prices, it's the size and frequency of change. The more dramatic the ups and downs, the higher the volatility. This can put savers who are newly retired or a few years away from being retired at greater risk. Today's generation of retirees is not receiving traditional pensions as our parents or grandparents did. Instead, we have retirement accounts such as 401ks or 403bs. These accounts typically expose your money to market risk. The last thing you want right before retirement is to lose a portion of the money you need for income. But how do you turn these accounts into a retirement income? Is it safe to keep all your retirement money sitting in the stock market? The last thing you want is to lose a portion of the money you need for income due to market loss. By working with a financial professional, you can learn how to turn a portion of your savings into an income stream for life and income for the life of your spouse if you're married. We all have moments in our lives when we wish we had taken action sooner. Don't let procrastination reign on your retirement parade. Act now before it's too late. Please call our office to set up your no-cost, no-obligation retirement income review today.
You're watching Your Powerful Legacy TV. I'm your host, Randy Major, and joining me today from Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services are Kristina 𝒊𝒈𝒖𝒓𝒆 and Rob Kupperling, having a great show today. And I want to get into, we were just talking about budgeting. And how is that different from comprehensive strategy?
So when you're talking about a budget, this is actually what those expenses are versus what the income is. A comprehensive strategy is, what is that going to look like as the things that you're budgeting for inflate, and then what interest could possibly be earned over on the income stream end, and then also what is it to put it all together. We like to call it that comprehensive or holistic experience. There are so many ways to call it that. We're just going to get you a really darn good strategy, folks.
Yeah, we're hoping that you get close to the end of your strategy and start bringing money and spending it. We want to know if your mortgage is about paid off. Luckily, hopefully it already is paid off, but you might have expenses that are going away, and you might have new expenses coming, and you need a plan for that.
Right, and so that's where it really shifts. I mean, I think it's kind of a rumor that you're going to spend less money in retirement, but you have some other things that you need to be prepared for.
Well,
That's a bad rumor.
But think of this: you think you're going to spend less, but you have more time on your hands to spend money.
That's absolutely right.
Ooh, that's going to be the devil for me.
Mall opens at 10. And we have grandchildren. We just, I see my parents spoil, and I get so upset with them. And I say, please, they don't need a gift every time you watch them or spend time with them.
Why
That's
not?
so unnecessary.
We can't
I just
wait.
worry about them spending their money.
And we can't wait. We want to shake them up and give them back. But we're looking forward to that next step, is to have those grandchildren to come over and spoil them a little bit. And I think that's the grandparents' job.
Yes.
I'm so
we got
looking
mad
forward
at
to
it. I got mad at my parents doing it, but now I want to do it. So I think that's your stage in life.
True, very true.
Well, and I think making sure that you're on track for this is very important. I mean, what is being on track for retirement?
Right.
Just making sure that if you continue on the path that you're on, you're going to not outlive your money. That's what we're really looking for. That's the ultimate goal. Am I going to be on track, not outlive my money, yes or no?
So what does that look like? What is your approach, and what does that appointment look like when you first sit down with somebody?
Well, for most people, let me tell you what you think it's going to look like. Let me give you the reality. So we'll stay on that theme for this show just a little bit. What you think it's going to look like is a root canal. We're going to sit and grind everything into your teeth. It's going to feel awful, and you'll get a big fat bill. So not true. First off, we did say complimentary. So we do open up our time. This is very important to us to get back to our community, and it's very important that you understand that you're not coming in to be sold something. You're coming in, you're going to bring all the information that we need to have an information gathering session, basically, and we're going to see, do you have enough to retire, how and when you want to? And how and when are going to be those key words, because it may not be exactly what you're thinking. You may be able to retire a little bit more, like you were talking about the jet setter, or maybe we need to dial some things down.
Yeah, right. So what are some of the biggest surprises or blind spots, things that folks are missing when they come in and sit down with you? What are they surprised to know?
I think that they are surprised that, gosh, that's a really hard, I can think of about 10 different people right this moment, that they can't retire how they want to because they put an age number on it. And so some people think, oh, I'm retiring at 62, that's it, I'm done. But the money's just not there. And I do have a couple, they came in to retire, and she was just a couple weeks away from being 62, and I had to let her know, you just do not have enough money unless you only live until you're 70. It's just not there. you've got to work longer. And so we actually talked about a transitional retirement. So she could do maybe retire from her main job, but do some part-time work and maybe some babysitting or something on the side to continue having some income in there because it was needed, and couldn't fully turn off that income spigot yet.
Right. Oh.
We've also had it go the other way, where we get to, this is the fun one, you get to retire people early.
Oh yes, that is my favorite.
And then, you'll see some people that the employers like them so much, they bring them back in as a consultant, and they're making more money as a consultant than they were at their job regularly. So
they do. One of my good friends, she came in and had a consultation, and she was just really sick of her job. And so she said, is there any way that you can just see how many more years I've got? And I asked her the question, well, what if you could retire today? What? I can? Yes, let me show you. And I showed her basic income schedule and what it would look like, and just some very basic earnings. And she was so excited about it. We retired her. I mean, she didn't wait 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she went right in on Monday morning, gave her notice, and she was done in a week.
That's amazing. I can't imagine how great that made you feel.
It just made me happy for her. That's the most important part. And we are happy for you. We love talking about retirement. I know that you only retire once. This is something that you only go through one time, but we go through this all the time. And we see retirement just like everything else. It's different. It's different for every person. It looks different for every household.
Yeah,
it does.
Sure.
And you talked about it being like a root canal, because some people get in there and we're asking them questions. It's a fact-finding mission. And sometimes there's like, well, maybe this is an embarrassing number to give. I just don't want to give it out. And they're surprised to learn that it's not an embarrassing number. They've been working hard. They've got that money saved, and let's find a way to help maximize that for them.
Yeah,
Right.
They'll hear us say things like on the show that it'll cost close to $300,000 for all of your medical expenses between a married couple ages 65 to 95. That's a big number.
Sure
They'll
is.
have people that will come in for their complimentary review and say, oh my gosh, Kristina, I only have $300,000 in my retirement account. What am I going to do? That's not exactly the way that works, so it's okay. And that may not be your only source of income. And when we're talking about sources of income, we very seriously look at every different direction. One of them is going to be your Social Security. When is the best time to file for Social Security? It's different than what you think it's going to be. And we do have a very specific software that we use, and you'll jump onto ssa.gov, bring us in the numbers that we need to get this report taken care of, and we'll give you this report. It shows you what are those break-evens and when is the true best time for you to file for Social Security. It's not necessarily an age number or a dollar amount. It's all of the above.
Right, right. There's a lot of chatter about Social Security right now. I think, with our debt, what's your opinion on this?
Oh, government schmoverment. Social Security is a hot topic right now, absolutely, because it is generally a 30 to 40% chunk of your retirement income, folks. We're seeing here in Lexington and Louisville that's the amount, and that's so much money. So when we're talking about such a big piece of your retirement puzzle, we want to make sure that it's going to be exactly right.
Now, what about for the folks that are not receiving pensions? Retirement looks so much different now. What percentage of people are coming in and don't have that?
Well, it's a high percentage.
How do you strategize for them?
Yeah, it's a high percentage because they're just not as available. They're not offered as much as they used to be.
Hardly anybody has a pension. It used to be that, gold watch, the pension, a little bit of savings, and you would have your Social Security, right off into the sunset. But retirement was only 10 to 15 years.
Right.
Now we're seeing people that retire and they live for 20 to 30 years more. It is so fantastic. And we truly hope that if we get close down to the wire, that you die exactly the way you came in. Broken naked. That'd be great. We want you to spend all of your money, but we also want to make sure that you're not going to outlive your money. We want to get you right down to the very edge. It's so funny. My in-laws, Rob's parents, they say all the time that they're spending the inheritance. We hope so.
We want them to spend every dime of it.
We don't need anything.
Right. Yeah, and he always says, just worry about me running out of money before I go. That's his technical term. He has to come and live with us, but that
won't happen because we take care of him.
Well, we have to open up the phone lines again. We've talked about that complimentary review, what that looks like. And for the first 10 callers, if they call today, they're going to get one of those appointments with you.
That's right.
We'll have a complimentary review for you and your family, 877-893-5099. And we'll also provide you with a copy of Kristina's book, The Retirement Train. This is a wonderful read. It's not over anybody's head. It's written in a way that, like I said, our 12-year-old has read it and he understands it, and everyone gets a lot of information out of it.
Well, thank you so much. Viewers at home, the phone lines are now open. We do encourage you to go ahead and make that first step today. Pick up the phone and call the number on your screen. It's 877-893-5099. Again, it's 877-593-893-5099. We're going to take a very short commercial break, but we're going to be back with more, so don't go anywhere.
When was the last time you saw your financial professional? Are you getting the most out of the strategy that was created for you? Although you've done a great job finding someone to help plan for your future, are you 100% sure that you were given the right strategy? We can help answer these questions and more with a complimentary second opinion evaluation. We will take a look at what you have in place, then help determine if you are well positioned to get the most out of your future retirement income. In the event that it is not, we can help by making suggestions and showing you how to get on the right path. You wouldn't get just one opinion when it comes to a major health decision. So why would you treat your most important financial decision with such disregard? Call today for your no-cost, no-obligation second opinion evaluation to see if you are getting the most out of your retirement income plan.
Welcome back to Your Powerful Legacy TV. Again, I'm your host, Randy Major, and I'm chatting today with Kristina King-Kepperling and Rob Kepperling, and just really talking about all things retirement. And, we're having a great show today, and I wanted to touch back on what we were just talking about in the last segment, striking a balance between expectations and reality of retirement.
Yes, it's kind of like Pinterest. I had this Pinterest expectation of what this beautiful gourmet dessert is going to look like, and then reality, it kind of looks like a pile of poop. It's probably not going to be edible. That's sort of how that works out.
Nailed
just
it.
Teasing. Just teasing. Oh my goodness. Sometimes you do expect that you're going to retire a certain way. Maybe you're going to travel more and spend more time with your family, your grandchildren, see the world, and maybe you're going to play more golf and just have a great time in retirement, but the budget doesn't quite match. And then also you may have an age expectancy that you want to retire at 59, 60, 62. That's just not going to happen because you haven't had those earnings yet.
Yeah, so important to come in, really sit down, meet with you, so you know what you're getting into and you know exactly how that's going to look.
That's right.
Yeah. How about we answer a viewer question? I know the phone lines have been very busy. A lot of people calling to get that complimentary review, and we've had a couple questions. So I'm going to go ahead and ask one.
I love it.
The first one says, if I don't have children or a spouse, why do I need a retirement strategy?
Because it's your retirement. No, I think that sometimes there is a misconception for those who are either not married and don't have any children that they don't have to worry about retirement because they're thinking about taking care of somebody else. But in reality, retirement is your retirement. It's not anybody else's retirement. So let's get a successful strategy together for you. And ironically, I just want to throw this out there. Over 60% of my clientele are ladies. It just must because we like to hang out. I don't know what it is, but we end up just having great conversations, and a lot of times the women are making the decision in the household these days. So I think that a lot of ladies out there that are concerned about long-term care, Social Security, inflation, taxes, all of these important subjects, I don't want you to delay. It's not going to be an intimidating phone call at all. Just give us a buzz and let's get it done.
Yeah, and even if you don't have a spouse or children, you still need to plan for long-term insurance and all of that. So you still need a strategy to protect your money. And women tend to outlive men too. So very important for the ladies to think
Only
about.
the good die young.
Yeah. We saw it on Facebook the other day, clips of what guys do and what women do, and it's self-explanatory on why men don't live as long. We do more dumb things, I think.
Yeah, you all are crazy.
We're a little more cautious. We tend to be, yes. Okay, I have one more question from a viewer. I want to retire early at age 59 and a half. Is that too early?
No, not at all. I mean, we've retired people well younger than that.
Yeah, 52, 53 years old. Yeah,
Okay.
that's not too early as long as you're, again, it's not an age number or a financial number, it's both.
Yeah.
So if you have the finances there available and we can make sure that you're going to be on track, that you won't outlive your money.
Yeah.
We don't have a crystal ball, but if you're only in your late 50s, we do want you to plan on that longevity. We want you to hopefully live to your triple digits. That'd be great. So
Yeah.
we'll make sure that we're going to overshoot it.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, there's no crystal ball. We don't know what's going to happen in the future, but so important to just come in and take a look at what you have, because you never know. You don't know what you don't know, and if you really haven't looked at it, really dove in to what you've earned and how many people really know?
Well, the majority of the people that come in are very surprised at the information we provide.
Yeah.
They are. We hear people that have gone for consultations, or maybe they're out having dinner at some fancy place and they say, if you have $500,000, then we want to talk to you, And it's just disturbing, because everybody should have a chance to sit down and have a complimentary review and really talk about their retirement.
Yeah.
I want you to talk about your retirement, not anybody else. This is not anyone else's business, but it's yours. And when we're having these conversations about retirement, my favorite thing is that people tend to learn a little bit more about themselves. That is so much fun. I mean, it surprises me every day, the stuff that we hear. I can give you some really crazy stories. People wanting to leave their money to their dog or their cat or something crazy like that. Then we have people that will say, well, I'm not going to spend any time traveling because I don't want to see my family. Then I've got others that'll say, I want to sell everything and travel like a gypsy in a motorhome. I mean, we just hear all of these crazy, amazing stories about people's lives, and it makes me so happy. Every day is different, and it's wonderful, and we just can't wait to meet more people.
I love that. You can absolutely tell you both love what you do.
Oh, we do. And I got the biggest chuckle not too long ago. We had somebody come in, and we were trying to get the beneficiaries planned out on the annuity. And when we asked her, you want to leave, how much do you want to leave your husband? And she says, oh, nothing.
Oh no.
She said he's already got enough money anyway, and he doesn't share. I know exactly what you're talking about. It was so funny. And we just, we've heard a lot of it, so it's good. But some of the things that I think people are a little hesitant to talk about is when they feel like they don't have enough.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I think that that's almost more important than those that have too much, because we've got to guard it. We've got to take care of it. We've got to make sure that you're going to have a successful strategy so you don't lose.
And that's what makes you so different from everyone else out there, is there's no cookie cutter approach here. You're really taking the time to get to know them, what their needs are, what their goals are, and what they have, and that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, there's no minimum for us. I mean, we get that asked all the time. Hey, like you mentioned earlier, if you have $500,000, we'd like to talk to you. You know what? Your $500,000 may just be just as important as my $100,000,
right.
And we want to make sure that it's taken care of, and everything's been done for you and your family.
Okay. Well, Kristina, if you could remind the viewers of what they're going to get today. We have just a few seconds left.
Yes, folks, when you give us a call for that complimentary review or perhaps a second opinion, also when you come in, you're going to get a complimentary copy of the Retirement Train. We can't wait to share this with you. We know you're going to love it. Check out our website, yourpowerfullegacy.com. Come and see us, folks.
Thank you so much. Thank you to the viewers at home for watching. We will see you next week. Have a beautiful day.